I would like to introduce you to LM Studio. If you have some type of high-end computer, you could probably run LM Studio. I'm rocking a 4070 right now, and it's pretty simple to set up, honestly. It's an exe, so download it. If you know you got a Mac, you got a Windows, you got a Linux, it's a exe. That's what should be pretty simple to set up. Now it's gonna introduce you to something that looks a little like this. All right, so this is the most important thing that you should pay attention to. This is the type of model that you have loaded onto LM Studio. For me, I have downloaded these models right here, which I need to discover. Nobody has talked about it on the internet yet. DeepSeek Coder V2 Lite Instruct. And then we got the Mistral Demo Instruct 24/7. And then we got Mistral 7B Instruct and version 0.3 and DeepSeek R1 Distill Llama 8B, DeepSeek R1 Distill Quinn 7B, whichever were most popular at the time. Currently, I have Mistral Demo Instruct loaded, and I'll eject it right now to show you the process of loading stuff. Once you download them, they're freaking gigabytes in size. They're fucking massive, man. So you load one up. Context length is really important when it comes to this type of stuff. You want to have the most maximum context length possible. I remember back in the day, ChatGPT 3 had like a context length of like 16,000 tokens, something small like that. It's like setting a high value for context like can significantly impact memory usage. You would want your applications or your chat interface to have the maximum context length window, or be able to adapt and your context window to the most relevant part of the conversation in that chat history. And that could be quite difficult without some like coding involved to save off the most like context defying parts of the conversation in that context window. So unless you have like a script to do that, your context length is going to be very important, especially when you're dealing with coding IDEs that could just chomp at your like context window. But for regular chat interfaces, you're not talking to documents or anything. You could set it to be pretty low. If you're trying to do benchmarks and stuff like that, trying to see which model you like the most, I would try to push it as high as you can. I'm not really sure if this goes into input or output tokens, but that would matter too. Now, there's a bunch of settings I have not even touched yet. But again, this is an introductory tutorial to LM Studio. So I'm gonna load this model. It's gonna take a minute. It's gonna get there. You're gonna experience some GPU usage. If you load a model and you set it to the context length that's not default, you might encounter some issues like this. So I would be very cautious. I'm gonna try to load Mistral 7B at this amount of tokens, context length, load the model, see what happens. It's loaded, and we could do stuff like talk to it. Can you teach me how to solve a Rubik's Cube? Wow, that's pretty fast. That's low-key pretty fast. Low-key. I'm surprised. I'm surprised. I have a 4070. All right. And that was pretty fast. That's a cool answer. You can change, this is LM Studio. You could change various different options. This is a very fleshed out UI. We could change it but we're gonna have to reload to apply the changes. I would just be mindful of what these models can do for you on your system. They're gonna be different for each system. I currently have a 3070. You can load different models if you want. This is the developer side of stuff. You could change the server port, enable cores. This whole entire page is very crucial to running everything from the developer side. So you can see the developer logs right here. You can see the endpoints right here. So like if you're running a local LLM app that is using your local LLM from LM Studio, you would use these endpoints and you would use that server port and you would call that and get the models that are available, post chat completions. It's kind of like ChatGPT's OpenAI, except for it's on your computer. You would still call this endpoint OpenAI. Let's load another model. Let's load DeepSeek Quinge. You'll notice how DeepSeek's context length is very small, very tiny. I wonder. Everybody's like, DeepSeek this, DeepSeek that. Have you looked at its size? See how small it is. Very interesting. So my models, this is all the models that I've downloaded. Again, 36 gigabytes of space from all these models. So it's very huge. You could search for, so I like this page. You could search these models. You could also get the model card from Hugging Face. Thank you so much, Hugging Face and that community. You guys are so great. Blessed. There's so many models. You can find a good model for your computer. It will search it up best on your computer. It will tell you your CPU, memory, guardrails, resource monitoring. Again, I'm running a 4070. I only have 12 gigabytes of VRAM. You can tell you the run times. I have still yet to understand this. So there's that. It's pretty cool. You could download more models from Hugging Face. Open in browser. Quinn 2.57p instruct. Dude, this thing was downloaded almost 60,000 times. There's more models on Hugging Face. It's a pretty cool place. There's so many models. They have 1 million now. I just wanted to show you that LM Studio is a great place, a great application. Load your models and build apps with them or do whatever, or talk to different models with them. You could develop your own apps with this. You don't have to spend money on an API. The price of API is still going down through time. The benefit of having an app like LM Studio is that you can, there's many different pros and cons. One is not paying for an API, which is being able to run your own apps that are AI dependent, API AI dependent. And some apps actually have natural interfaces with LM Studio. I've come across like five or so apps in the AI adventures through GitHub that I found that naturally interface with LM Studio. You can test models quickly, see which ones are out there that suit your needs better. These are all open source models. So yeah, LM Studio, try it out. It'll be a blast.